The next step in our abstract art project is to make sure that we create a grid on the back side of our letters and also start filling in either our letters with Sharpie or our background with Sharpie, depending on if you decided to represent your letters with positive space or with negative space. Before I touch a Sharpie, I'm going to do the grid on the back side in pencil first. So if I have my letters finished outlined on this front side, I'm going to flip my white square over and I'm going to start measuring my grid. Now we have to fit 16 equal sized squares on the back side of our paper. So that means that I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure in 3-inch increments. So for example, on each side, I'm going to make a mark at the 3 with my pencil, 6 and 9 on each edge. So I rotate it and I go to the next one, 3, 6, 9. Those are the only 3 numbers that you need to know for this step, 3, 6, and 9. And one more time on my 4th side, 3, 6, and 9. Then what I can do is connect these marks that I just made to create my grid. So I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to line it up with my mark on the top and on the bottom, and I'm going to draw a line through those marks. So I will have 3 vertical lines that go from top to bottom, and I will also have 3 horizontal lines that go from side to side. If I measured correctly, each square should be 3 inches by 3 inches, and there should be 16 total. And that is my grid on the back side. Now I need to make sure that I am doing that in pencil and not Sharpie. If we do it in Sharpie, it'll bleed through to the other side. Once I've done my grid, then I can flip back over to my letters. And I want to start thinking about using a large Sharpie to start filling in either my letters or the background. The first step to using Sharpie is to make sure that we're very careful using a permanent marker. So make sure this goes nowhere near your face. Make sure your face is nowhere near your paper. Make sure that only the marker is pressing the paper so that we all stay safe with Sharpies. The first thing I'm going to do, whether I'm doing positive or negative space, a really good place to start would be to slowly outline each of your letters, because then you can proceed to either fill them in or start filling around that line in the background. So I'm just going to do my B as an example. Notice I'm going nice and slow, carefully covering up all my pencil marks with that king size Sharpie. Now I'm going to represent positive space with my letters, so I need to fill in that B completely black. But I need to think about what parts are part of the background. These 2 shapes that look like capital D's are going to be left white because that's part of my background and I do not want to fill those in. So what I'm going to do is I can start anywhere on my letter. With these Sharpies, it makes a very thick line. However, I need to make sure I'm going nice and slow so I don't leave any white spots on my letter. The faster I go, if I would scribble like this, you can see that the line does not look as neat, but also it's going to make it look like the Sharpie is running out. So I need to make sure that I go really slow, and these will last a lot longer if we take our time. So I'm going to fill out my whole letter, and then I would move on to my R, my I, and my L. Those are the only 2 things that we're going to do for today. So after you get your pencil letters on the front side, before Sharpieing, you need to do your grid. Then you can move back to start filling in either your letters or your background for your abstract name or word or number, whatever you decide to do.